Hey, what's shaking, guys? Luke Dancy here, and today we're going to do something we've never done for you before, and it's give you exclusive look inside of our warehouse studio. Now, this is not part of our warehouse. This is actually part of our standalone studio facility that we have. So we've shown you the warehouse. That's what I meant to say, but we've never shown you inside our studios. So we're going to do that today. I've got the team with me to make it all happen. I've got these guys here. I've got George, got Javier in
Hey,
studio,
Hello.
and you can see here we have Titanus joining us from Greece. What's up, my friend?
what up?
Hello,
What's
hello.
shaking, Luke?
Oh God, had to go there, right?
Hey, it's a great catchphrase. I've been trying to steal it for ages, but it's not catching.
So,
Well, you can't do it like him, so.
no,
No,
nobody,
of course
nobody.
not. Nobody does it like Luke.
So this is going to be fun. We're actually with the guys now inside the studio, which is a really fun place to be. Not a lot of people have been there, unless you've done like an at the table or you've produced a product with us, or at least one with us. You've never had a chance to actually be inside of our studio, so we're going to give you a little peek there today with the
Ooh.
guys. Why don't you guys tell me about yourselves first? Of course, I know who you are, but the guys watching, let's have them get to know you guys a little bit better. You know, the studio team.
Yeah, so I guess I'll go first. Hey everyone. My name is George. I like long walks on the park and sitting down by a fire with a nice book. No, no, that's not a very good introduction. But I'm one of the guys here at the product development team at Murphy's. I've been here for maybe about 5 years now. One of the great things about being at this job is we just get to work with so many fantastic magicians. And for me, I'm just so fortunate to be able to work with really, really talented individuals and have a really talented team to work along. So. Hi guys, I'm George.
Javier, I've been here for about 6 months, and I've loved every single second that I've been here. I get to see new products. I get to work and develop new ideas with products that are coming in. I get to meet magicians. I get to talk to you guys now. So I love it.
And what about this guy? What
It's
about this
great.
guy? Who are you, Mister Green background over there?
I don't even. Well, it's not green
Oh, no, it's
anymore.
blue. My bad.
So
I
you
like that,
missed
by
it.
the way.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. Well, I'm the guy with a cool background. Also, also known as Titanus. I can't really introduce myself. There's so many good things to say about myself, but I'm going to save it for George.
Oh God.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, we're all part of the Memphis team, and we're doing our best to produce really good magic. We get to see a lot of magic, a lot of submissions that you guys are doing, and we get to see magic in conventions. Speaking about that, Magic Live is coming. It's right,
Oh yeah.
like in
Who's gonna be there?
about,
Comment in
I don't
the
know.
comment, like, share, and subscribe. I don't know. However. You say it.
I think that's YouTube.
Yeah, I think that's easy. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah. That's gonna be fun again. Magic Live is one of the really, really big conventions that we're doing, and this is another place that you guys can, find us and show us what you got. And there's also going to be some prize, George, right?
A prize.
A
Well,
prize.
not a prize, but like cash involved to lock down
Well,
some.
yeah. So we've got some straight up cash that we can use to buy product or buy new magic down at Magic Live. So if you've got something that you think is interesting, hunt us down, find us, and ask us to hey, sit down with me for a couple minutes and let me show you what I've got. I think for us. That's part of the most fun things coming out of Magic Live is we're seeing new products or new ideas of tricks that nobody else has seen yet, and so for me, that's what I'm looking forward to is just seeing you guys out there with some cool ideas and some new tricks.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely one of the most valuable things we do at a convention. And Javier is going to be with us this time, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah. Thankfully, we get to bring Javier along with us for the ride this time. We've got a number of downloads that we're filming there, and Javier is sort of tasked with filming that. He's going to be kind of running around with a camera and just shooting everything. So if you see him running around with a camera, feel free to stop him and say hi and say, "Oh, we saw you guys on the Facebook stream." And yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. But definitely, if you're going to be there, hit us up. We want to meet all you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is like the first time that we'll have, all of us together at a convention because, Javier's the new guy on the block here. So it's great to have all of us together. And like they were saying, if anyone has things to show magic-wise, George has made this happen now to where we can make some deals on the spot. So if you guys have some magic you've been thinking about releasing, we would love to talk to you. And speaking of that, George, and Titanus, because I know this is what you guys do on the daily, can you kind of give us some some information about when it comes to producing products, maybe some of the inner details, how that works, and when it comes to us specifically, what we're looking for when it comes to those products that we want to produce here at Murphy's Magic?
Yeah, sure. I'll say a little something to that. So, I mean, for me, I really like visual magic. Just that hard-hitting, gut-turning, "Oh my God, what the heck just happened?" kind of thing. That statement should be filled with all kinds of expletives, but I've tried to manage what I've said there a little bit. But that's what I love is like when I'm just absolutely blown away. For me to see something new and then kind of seeing what happens behind it, that's one of the greatest things about this job. Now, what does it take for for us to be able to produce something? It's kind of an interesting thing because part of it is we're selling we're selling magic to magicians that they're going to be performing for laymen, right? So we've got sort of two people that we're trying to target that two people that we're trying to wow here. I mean, the first being is the magician who is going to be thinking about whether or not this is something they want to perform in their shows and their act, and or just something to have as a fun toy. But then also we want to make sure that they're getting something that absolutely wows their spectators, that it can actually be done in the way that we're showing you on camera, where the things that we've shot and filmed, we test them out enough times to where we kind of work out all the little kinks. Does this moment get the reaction that it doesn't? If it doesn't, then we go back and we sort of revise a little bit. So it's really tough to kind of narrow it down because really there are two different people that we're trying to sell it to, and it's a really interesting dichotomy in the way we're trying to sell that, right? So I don't know, Titanus, do you want to speak a little bit, pick up a little bit on that?
Yeah, well, what I'm going to say is that it's never really specific. Like every time it's different. Like, for example, we did a funny thing about what you said before. You said we're selling magicians, and I was about to say that.
Yeah, no, we actually do sell magicians as well.
The funny thing is that the trend right now is that the magician doesn't have to do anything. So I think that soon enough we're going to start selling magicians in the box that they're going to perform for people. But like I wanted to give an example. Like Silhouette is a really nice example. Like of the things that when you first see it, it's so magical and it's so different that you have nothing else to compare it. Like that's why I say that it's never specific. It's always like depending on the item. So it's not like we're looking for something specific every time. We're just looking for good magic, and if that's visual or not. Like another example, The Gift by Angelo Carbone was a really successful item, and it wasn't a visual thing.
Yeah,
because
sure.
the whole thing happens inside a box. So as long as it's good magic and it comes with something that people are going to appreciate when they open it, it's going to wow them. Like, oh my God, what's that? I would never be able to, think about it or build it myself. I think that's where a successful item stands for.
Yeah, and that's kind of essentially what we do here is that, there's a lot of great magicians out there who continue to release products, right? But then there's also a lot of great creators who have really great ideas but just don't necessarily know how to take that product and turn it into something that's marketable. And that's kind of essentially what we do. We sort of fill that gap, fill that need. And so we are continually looking for just really great ideas out there that can translate into something that people would love to buy and have in their arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's interesting, isn't it? Like every year, the conventions happen, you never know what that thing is going to be. And definitely last
No,
year,
not at all.
definitely last year, Silhouette was the thing everybody was talking about. But you guys knew about it because, it's something we were recording there. We were getting the footage there.
Yeah.
But I mean, you never know what you're going to see at a convention, and you never who you're going to see at a convention. There's new blood popping up all the time these days.
Oh, absolutely.
With the internet, social media, so you never know who's going to pop up. Also, Mark Lavelle's on, and he's got some love for you guys, the studio and Titanus, of course, saying
what's up, dude?
he's done stuff with us. He says that everyone's pleasure to work with, very professional, experienced, and more importantly, just good, decent people. And that's something seems to kind of be a trend with our team. We don't just do business; we try to have relationships and do some business at the same time.
That's true. Yeah. Well, let's all. It's Mark's birthday today, so happy birthday, Mark!
Ooh, happy birthday, Mark!
Wow.
Hey,
everybody, go get Skynet.
Yeah.
Yes, that's cool. Happy birthday, Mark! I didn't know that. That's awesome, man.
I didn't either. It's weird that it didn't pop up on my Facebook. Usually, I try to keep an eye out for those things, but maybe I'm just not on Facebook enough these days.
That's how the world works now.
Yeah.
If you're not on Facebook, you don't know what's going on.
I'm nobody. I mean, that's the fact of the matter.
Yeah, so I want to let the guys know too. We're going to talk a little bit more about products and the team, but also stay tuned. We've got Javier. He's got a camera handy, and he's ready there. He's going to take you a little mini tour around our studio facilities there too. So hang on for that. We're going to give you some behind the scenes access to our studios in California. And again, it's a totally separate building. It's about a 5-minute drive from our main corporate offices with our warehouse and everything. This is just a dedicated space for Magic products, trailers, explanations, and the at the table experiences, which we do there too, right, George?
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of the things that we do here is the at the table lectures. We do them, twice a month. Javier here is our new host. He's our fun guy on camera that we like to joke around with. So we shoot that there. We shoot lectures. We shoot trailers, instructions. We pretty much do everything that we could possibly do to have fun here in the studio. And it's surprising that
really
we actually
nice
call it work.
Too.
Yeah, exactly, and also product photography. I'll show you guys a little bit about. We've got some photos that we had just shot recently, so I kind of left the setup knowing that we were going to go into this, and I'll kind of give you guys a sort of behind the scenes tour on how it is that we sort of achieve some of these photos. So if you guys are like sort of interested in like figuring out how to like do cool photography, stay tuned because in a couple minutes it's going to get really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we do all those kinds of things here. But I mean, beyond that, we do card trailers. We do, one of the most fun things that we've done here is do you remember the old Banshees trailer?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that was a lot of fun because we've got I don't know if you can tell how much space we've got here.
It's actually playing back there now.
We've got tons of space around here. And all we were doing for that shoot is just throwing cards at each other. I mean, it was sort of a bit of a mess here after it was done. And our poor cleaning lady who comes around once a week must have had a heart attack when she saw the place. But I say that because, man, it is so much fun to be here doing what we do. And I keep saying that over and over only because it's absolutely true. Like I tell everybody, like, man, I'm just really fortunate that I can come here and just pretty much have fun all day long, and that's work. I mean, I don't get it, but somehow it's considered work.
Yeah, man, we're all really, really lucky, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah, and Luke's been here a number of times also. I mean, like you kind of get the vibe. I mean, it's just such a fun place to be. And so if you guys are ever in the Sacramento area, definitely hit us up, and we'd love to kind of show you around our studio in person. I think you'll be in for a interesting treat.
There's actually something new that you guys are working on. We're not going to tip it here, but there's a new deck of cards that's coming out very, very shortly that you guys are working on the trailer. I think within the next week or so, you're going to have it done. It's a tasty deck of cards, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if we can really, if we can
It's tasty.
talk about it too much. Yeah,
I know. But we can tease. We can always tease.
But it's definitely very, very. It's a sweet. It's going to be a sweet trailer with a sweet or with a sweet trailer with some sweet cards.
There we go. All right.
Yeah. Super sweet.
Yeah.
So sweet.
And that is one thing people don't realize. The trailers, especially the ones that you see with the Murphy stinger on them, those are the ones that are all done in house. Because we also carry other people's products. The trailers that don't have our branding on it aren't ones we've done in house. We work with so many people that also self-produce that. But you can always tell the difference when it's a Murphy's trailer and when it's just And there's a lot of people that do good trailers now. Don't get me wrong.
No, there are absolutely a lot of people who do great trailers. I mean, I know, like, I look at trailers every other day and kind of go, man, this is amazing. I love this. Let's borrow some of their ideas for our next trailer. Don't worry, we'll return it. But I mean, like, there's just so much creativity coming out of trailers. I mean, if you remember looking at trailers 5-10 years ago, I mean, we are in just such a different place these days compared to the kind of video that people are putting out. And I think I don't know where that comes from. Maybe it's, just sort of the democratization of like video as a whole, and maybe people are just more interested in it, like, producing like content for online streaming, online platform, that kind of thing. But man, there's a lot of really talented people out there who make really amazing trailers. And, I think I'm good. I think I'm good, but like a lot of times I look out at what other people are doing and I'm like, man, there's a whole lot there that people are doing that's way more amazing. And so I'm continually learning from pretty much everything that I've seen, that I'm seeing.
Yeah. The other thing I want to give some love to the studio team, because they don't just produce the trailers; they also produce the products. These guys also do product development, which is important to note. And one of the things I've really noticed over the last, I don't know, 2, 3, maybe 4 years, is that the packaging that you guys have started to do now for products is like, dude, it's gone up a lot. You could definitely tell that too. So, we handle everything. I want people to know that. They're talking specifically about video content, but we also do manufacturing. We work with manufacturers to get things produced. We do the packaging and, of course, the marketing. We're kind of like an all-in-house thing that we do all this stuff for you. So I want to give some love to you guys too for that stuff, because it's great.
Yeah, I definitely feel like, we sort of gloss over a lot of that stuff sometimes because that's a lot of the things that happen on the back end. And I know, like, people just get excited about the things that they could visibly see, right? So which are the trailers and definitely packaging. That's one of the things that we've, continually been pushing ourselves on is how do we make packaging just more interesting, giving everybody at home like a more unique unboxing experience.
Yeah.
Yep, I like that word. It's definitely people are used to that now. It's kind of the standard. It's that standard now of like any product that you buy, you want to have that feeling of like, all right, I'm not just buying a little piece of nothing. Like you actually have the way that you open up the box and stuff. And you guys have creatively come up with some really cool ways to do packaging too, which I've noticed a lot. Like Profiteer was very cool.
That was a really interesting packaging, and it took a bit of thought, but we like the design of it. We like the feel of it, and definitely was something that we had put quite a bit of thinking into before kind of pulling the trigger on it. But yeah, that's part of the thing that we do here is we think about all those little details that you might not miss, right? Like nobody wants to think about the logistics of how do we get gimmicks from this country, packaging from this country, and then get it together into something that is, nicely packaged and nicely done, right? But that's all the things that you just never see that happens in the background that we kind of oversee on sort of a day-to-day basis. For me, it's super important, but I wonder how interesting people actually think that sort of thing is.
Well, actually, that's a great segue. Go ahead.
I was about to say that I think that the most invisible and one of the most important things that happens in the process of the production is solving the manufacturing, because
absolutely.
It's so much. You have a magician coming up with an idea, and they have to build one, right? And that's pretty easy to build one. You can build one of whatever you want. But solving the manufacturing and make something that it's cost effective and it can be produced by thousands, it's a process that it's always invisible to the end, to the person that buys it.
Yeah. And you guys were just speaking about, how it looks from outside, from an outsider looking in. I'd love to get Javier's thoughts on this because Javier is the new guy. He's sitting there next to George, and you started this job as someone that's obviously been around magic and the industry, but what was your biggest surprise, I guess, about coming into the world that Murphy's has? Because it's not just one thing that we do. We have a lot of moving pieces. So why don't you kind of share what some of your biggest surprises were as a new person being plugged into the Murphy's world, I guess you could say.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I really liked is how connected the magicians seem to be. I didn't know that it was like this super incredible, loving community of magicians. And also, I didn't know how much work goes behind each product. So I see George dealing with a lot of things, Titanis, myself. There's so much work that goes into one single product. And I think if you appreciate, once you get that product, if you know all the hard work that goes behind it, all the ideas, like George was saying, the packaging, all of that stuff, it really makes you appreciate the product so much more. So I think that's one of the things. I thought it was a lot quicker. Like the process would be like, oh, here's the idea, boom, I can get it out. But there's like this process of developing the product, making the trailer, waiting to receive the pieces or what's it called when the prototypes.
The prototypes.
And then if the prototype is not right or we want to fix it because now there's a new idea. So all of those things, I had no idea. And I feel like most people don't really know all of that hard work that goes behind just one single product. Right. It doesn't matter how simple you think it is. There's so much work that goes behind every single one.
And if you don't mind, because Javier is kind of new guy, I'm going to pick on him a little bit. A bit of an anecdote here, but the reason we met Javier was because he actually pitched a product to us.
Oh,
it's true.
Yeah, and I almost forgot about this. And it was a product that we absolutely loved. But for one reason or another, we didn't end up producing it. I won't go into exactly the details of what the product was or why we didn't produce it. But he still uses it. You still use the gimmick that you have, and you still kind of perform.
Oh, I love it, and everyone that I've shown it to, they like it as well. I've had one magician who has come up with his own little touches on it, and he tells me he uses it every single day on his on his shows. He does walk around.
Cool.
So, okay. Yeah.
And I do want to say that too, that George, you mentioned we found him. We found him through our social media is where we found him. So you guys out there that are watching this, we are connected to the community of magicians that are out there. I think it's very important to note because I was also sharing some of Javier's photos before we ever even had the product. So we do see you guys. Yeah. We do know that you're out there. And this just is proof in the pudding that, you never know. You could end up being someone that we reach out to and end up working with, and Javier sitting there now is proof of all that. So it's kind of full circle. Yeah. It's pretty neat. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Really interesting. I almost forgot about that too. I totally almost until you just started talking about that.
Hashtag Instagram, man. Yeah. Hashtag Instagram. There we go.
I know.
Yeah. Hashtag Murphy's Magic.
Exactly.
Yep. Right on.
Anyway, do you want to kind of take a look at kind of the studio as a whole?
Let's do. Yeah, that'll be like our last little bit here. So do we have any other final details? Because we're going to wrap up pretty much after that. And any other last things you want to talk about, the logistics or any of the kind of the heavy stuff?
Let me think about that for a second. Titanis, you go first. Put you on the spot.
Okay. I'm just trying to find a way to phrase it properly because I don't want it to sound like I'm whining about it. So I'm going to take what Javier said about before. Like, products take a lot of time and a lot of effort, and you guys wouldn't believe what it takes. Like, a lot of products take years to be released. And then they're going up to the Magic Cafe, and you have one person exposing like I don't know why, but I think that this. I'm not talking about killing the sales or whatever. I'm talking about how we have to be respectful to the person that created the effects.
Yeah.
And that's something that sometimes it really hurts. Like it takes so many years to produce something, and then it takes only one person to expose it, and they don't really realize that what they're doing is not only wrong for this item, but it's wrong. Exposing magic in public forums is not the best thing to do as a magician, because then that's gonna hit you back at some point. That's gonna come to you. Anyway, that's what I want to say. I'm saying it with a lot of love. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody. I just wish that we respected a little bit more the creators of magic.
Well said.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, when it comes time for you to release a trick, you wouldn't want somebody just, exposing what you've been working on, because most of the time, it takes a very long time once we already have the idea set and we have to work on the product. But there's also many years that the magician worked on that idea before it even came to us. So it's also,
and it's so weird to me that it gets on the forums and people think that it's a competition of who's gonna guess the method. This is so weird to me. Of course you're gonna guess the method. You're a magician, but that doesn't mean anything about the product. The product is not about magicians. It's about lay people watching it and reacting to it.
the experience you're going to give your spectators.
Yeah.
And Jeff Price,
Anyway.
Jeff Price is here, and he says Titanus is always right. So there you go.
Even when I'm wrong.
Cool. All right. So how about we give the guys the little behind-the-scenes look of our studio? I'm excited to see this too. I haven't been there in a little while, so yeah.
So before we do that, I will also remind you guys, this is a working studio, and the one thing you will never see in a photo of a working studio is the amount of wires and cabling that absolutely go through every piece of the floor. So you're going to see the behind-the-scenes dirty look, and I think we've also got some photos up of some some before and after. So you'll see what it looks like, and then you'll see how it comes out on camera.
Yep. Absolutely.
So we're going to jump to a different camera here. Yeah. Pass me that. In the meanwhile, talk amongst yourself.
Yeah, this is going to be good. We've got Javier queued up here, so I'm going to throw to this camera. This is the actual studio here. You can see George there. And you can see our jib, which is one of my favorite things. Look at that big jib in there. That's so awesome, dude. Love that thing. Yeah, that's cool. So we've got George showing us around here. I don't know if we have audio on Javier, so we're just, I guess, Titanus, you and I will just kind of talk through this.
Can you hear us okay?
Oh, I can hear you. My bad. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is one of my favorite pieces of equipment to use. Now, this is not something that we can use coming out of out of the studio, but this makes some pretty sweet shots here. And this is just a jib arm, little 10-foot jib arm here. But it gives some really, really nice shots. This, as you may have seen before, if you ever watch our At the Table lecture series, this is sort of the setup that we've got behind it. We've got our At the Table, we've got a magician, we've got a spectator, and then we've got, kind of the background set. So if you've ever seen that lecture series, this may look very familiar to you for some odd reason. So anyway, moving on, walking this way. So this is the setup that I was talking about earlier, where we were taking some photos, and I don't think we're exposing too much because I think this is already on the website. Mm-hmm. But this is the setup that we have, and it's a bit of a tight space here right now. If you wouldn't mind moving, Hav. So this is the. Things are falling. Look at that.
Gravity still works, so that's
Yep. Okay, there we go. It was just on a wire. Okay, so what's going on with this table? All right, I guess the earthquakes must have shifted like the floor or something. Anyway, so this is sort of the setup that we've got, right? Like, so if you look at it from this standpoint, it doesn't look like a whole lot. I mean, you can kind of just see a bunch of bottles, and we've got this really cool, possible bottle with a Memento Mori deck inside, and it looks just kind of like, not very interesting to see on a video. But, once you stick it into a DSLR, you have the right lenses, the right kind of glass, you get the right perspectives, it can really make for a really interesting photos. I don't know if you have a chance to be able to bring any of those up.
Yeah, I've got them. Here's one of them here, looking at the little bit of a wider shot of the bottle with the deck inside of it there. This is the original, the OGs, the original Memento Mori's. That's one shot. And then here's the other one. This is the tight shot of the deck and the bottle. You can really see the skull on the deck there. So very cool to see the difference between the actual and the pictures, the final result.
Right. Yeah.
And here's the I will tell you the secret behind getting a really fantastic shot like that. The secret is backlighting, right? If you take this light here, shine it right behind your object, whatever it is that you're filming is gonna look freaking amazing. and that's really the secret. It's not a big secret, but it's kind of, you know, I've seen like so many products out there that, or things out there that, you know, all they do is, you know, the natural instinct is to use like a front light like this and just kind of light up your object. But the thing that really makes it shine and really makes it glow is this backlight. And it just looks amazing once you stick that light on back there. And so for anybody, any of you guys are out there that are like photographers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, I've just spilled a bunch of secrets there. But it is like a huge thing just to, if you were looking to like increase, you know, level up your photography skills, backlighting is where it's at.
Right on. Yeah, I love.
Just a couple more things. I just want to show you guys over here. This, we've got just a random, what looks like to be a random array of things. These are all things that you've probably seen in some of our photos before. It's all just sort of random texture to kind of help give, make the shot feel a little bit more interesting, more than, you know, just like a photo on a shelf or a photo on a white backdrop. It's just some texture that gives it something. You know, each photo just a little bit of flavor. And so really all it is like, you know, we look for things with like interesting shape patterns like this kind of thing here. Can you actually see that?
Yep.
It's just got a weird, interesting texture to it. And if you stick a backlighting on that, man, that just glows. You know, like I keep talking about backlighting, but really that's where it's all about. Anyway, so let me just show you guys one more thing that we're in the process of here. Okay, so this is one thing that I absolutely love about having the studio is this massive cyclorama. It's called a cyc wall or a cyclorama for those people who are, have never delved into photography and videos. And all it is, it's if you've ever seen like what is that called? Yeah, like the Matrix, right? You know, like Neo and Morpheus is in that white room with like all them guns and all that stuff. This is essentially how they do it. You just have like a wall that just kind of scoops up like this, and so that way it just doesn't look like there's any a point where the floor and the wall behind you meet. And so it's just really great to have this kind of space. You know, the other thing that we used to do, this all used to be a green screen thing, and we used to do, and you can probably still see some of the paint here. Mm-hmm. This all used to be kind of all a green screen wall, but then we found that well, for me, a lot of green screen work just looks kind of hokey sometimes. And so we kind of threw that out the wall, threw that out the door and kind of just went with this, which is fantastic. And so here's another product that we're taking some photos of. It's the new Murphy's Fire Wallet, available at your favorite magic dealers. Probably not available yet, but will be available soon. We haven't really set anything up, but we just kind of like set this up just so we can show you guys what it looks like in sort of this cyclorama setting. And then so you're kind of seeing it from that point of view, but backlighting, I know I go on and on about backlighting, but really I love backlighting. That's like my go-to thing. If I'm shooting anything, I'm always trying to backlight. If I'm outside, I'm backlighting using the sun. You know, just as much backlighting as possible. Just really, really, you know, if you take away one thing from this product development meeting, it's backlighting.
Adam Borderline is saying, let's get some use out of the fire extinguisher when I'm there. So.
Oh yeah. We do have one of those because we have to have some safety precautions. Thankfully, it's only been used once. So You know, thankfully for that. Anyway,
I think you're breaking up just a little bit
I
there.
think
Yeah.
that is. I think that's pretty much it. And here, let me go back to.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we'll go back to the. There you guys are. All right, back to the old studio shot. Cool, cool.
All right, there we go. You getting any feedback?
Nah, we're good, man.
No, it's good.
We're
It's
good.
good
Oh,
now.
perfect.
Ah, sweet.
Anyway, I hope that was a fun little tour here. There's a couple more things that I don't think I'm allowed to show you guys, but that's okay. If you guys are ever in town, I'm happy to give you guys a tour of that.
Right on. Yeah. So as you guys can see, it's not just like one little room. This is a legit, and they also have offices. Of course, we're not going to show you their offices and their edit bays where
Yeah,
they do
it's
the
all
editing and all that. So yeah, it's. We hope you guys are enjoying this. A little peek inside the head of the guys that are finding the products, kind of tell you what they're looking for, how the process goes, and then also how it looks on the daily. It's exciting when we have guests come in for the at the tables and
Yeah.
new products
No,
and
totally.
all sorts of fun stuff. So, any last words? Again, you guys will be at Magic Live, and I'll be there too. So, if any of you watching want to show us some of your magic, or hang out, or just buy us a drink, we're not gonna say no to that. So,
There we go. There we go. Yeah,
Long
we'll
Island
be
iced
around
tea
the
for me,
bar.
please.
You know where we'll be.
absolutely.
But yeah, no, if you guys are around Magic Live, please feel free to come by and say hi. We don't bite unless you want us to. We'll be down at Genie this year also, and probably a number of
Blackpool, obviously.
conventions next year. Yeah, of course. So definitely come by and say hi. We'd love to meet you in person. Just come say hi.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, I don't know if we mentioned it, but in case you want to release a product with us and you don't know how to get in contact with us, on our website at Murphy's Magic, there is a submit your trick link.
You just submit it there. That'll put you right in touch with us, and we'll be able to take a look at the product. And we can have a discussion on it based on after that. But yeah, definitely send us whatever, if you think you've got something great, we'd love to see it for sure.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. I want to, of course, say thank you to my friends here. Of course, to George and Javier in the studio, and Titanus, who's in Greece, which is getting late over there. So thank you for the extra time, Mr. Titanus. Thank you, sir.
No, of course, man. Anytime.
Awesome.
Thank you for having us.
All right, boys. Well, I will
Thanks,
see you
guys.
soon. I'll see you here in Vegas soon.
Take care.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Bye.
Cool. See you. All right, my friends, there you go. A look inside the Murphy Studio facilities, and also hopefully help you out when it comes to releasing products, what we're looking for, and all the other logistics go with it. As you can see, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but when you love what you do, which we all do, obviously, it just makes it so easy for us. And we can't wait to see you guys at Magic Live, to see your new magic. And so thank you again to the guys in studio and you guys for watching. Don't forget, we are here every Wednesday, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We have interviews coming up, more of those. If you haven't seen the rest of them, you can check out the replays. All right, so thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you right here next week, same time, same place. All right, I will see you then. See ya.